This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. There is an old story that many folklorists attribute to the Chinese, though that has never been verified. There was a powerful ruler who had a beautiful daughter, a princess, who was idealistic and stubborn. The king came to her and said, "It is time that you were married. You are of age." She responded, "I will only marry the person who is my true love." The king said, "Well, then I will put out the word, and every eligible prince will come to ask for your hand. You can choose." She said, "That is not enough. I will only marry the man who brings back to me a blue rose." And so the word went out, and many returned empty-handed, for nowhere in the world did there exist a blue rose. Then one day, there was a palace gardener who had secretly loved the beautiful princess his whole life. He went to his garden and he picked the most perfect white rose. He came to her not as a prince, but as the one who loved her. He stepped forward and he gave her the white rose, and in that instant the rose turned the brightest shade of blue. Thus she knew that he loved her. The impossible blue rose was hidden until it was revealed by love. With love, the impossible becomes possible, or so the Chinese story teaches us. In 1975, in the city of Olympia, Washington, a woman by the name of Lois Duffy was indicted for murdering her identical twin. But she claimed she had no sister. This was the first odd case investigated by the FBI agents Philip Jeffries and Gordon Cole. Miss Duffy told Agent Jeffries that when her identical twin died, she said, "I am like the blue rose." And so Jeffries and Cole labeled every case they thought related to this a blue rose case. The scenario is The Mirror's Edge. It was written by me based on the theme of Twin Peaks and David Lynch in general. I'm the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is episode 2. A recap will be given by Joe Bardalis as his character, Russell Burnett. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Joe?
Thanks, Tom. Field report. Special Agent Russell Burnett, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2025. Hello, Margot. I hope this recording finds you well on a fine autumn day back east. Please inform Deputy Director Altus Wield that the Blue Rose Task Force team has safely arrived at their destination. It was only yesterday morning when Alt called us all into his office back in Quantico, Virginia. Special Agents Daryl Cross, our profiler, Jeffrey Lane, cyber specialist, Gaz Hayter, tracker and finder of missing persons, Daniel Bowie, forensic doctor and taxidermy enthusiast, and myself, a specialist in folklore, the occult, and all things spooky. Alt let us know in no uncertain terms, "We're getting the band back together." I know I say that every time, Margot, so thank you for indulging me. Alt informed us of a call he received from a gentleman named Ted Polk, alerting us to a John Doe case in the Pacific Northwest that might be of interest to Blue Rose. This Ted Polk and where he was calling from must have some major pull to get 5 FBI special agents sent out on the next flight to investigate. Apparently, an unidentified man was found lost in the woods in a condition his doctor at the hospital felt would be of special interest to us, and he in turn asked this Ted Polk to reach out. After an uneventful 6-hour flight, we arrived in Spokane, Washington, where we rented an SUV for an equally uneventful 2-hour drive to our destination. 2 mountaintops, both alike in dignity, in fair Twin Peaks, where we lay our scene. Twin Peaks, Washington, population 5,000. At face value, an idyllic small town, peaceful and charming, you would never suspect it has had such a long history with the FBI's top-secret Blue Rose Task Force. Yet here we are, once again. After a long day of travel, we decided to eat at the local Double R diner. I had the special, a homemade meatloaf and mashed potatoes with gravy. Margot, this was the real deal. It had the crisp bacon on top and was basted in tomato paste, not ketchup. I finished off my meal with a damn fine cup of coffee and a slice of homemade cherry pie. Pure heaven. We then proceeded to the Bensington Lodge to check into our 3 rooms Jeffrey Lane had booked for us earlier and get settled in for the night, not before Daryl Cross let both the sheriff's office and Ted Polk know we had arrived in Twin Peaks and made arrangements to meet with them in the morning. I woke up earlier this morning feeling refreshed and well-rested. I am not so sure I can say the same for some of my colleagues. Gaz Hader, Daryl Cross, and especially Jeffrey Lane seemed a little off at breakfast. Perhaps not everyone can adjust to a strange bed in a new environment as easily as others. We finished our morning meal and headed out to the sheriff's office. We met with Twin Peaks Sheriff, a young woman named Lynn Truman. Her grandfather had been the sheriff as well, and she was no stranger to his work with the FBI in years past. She was very helpful to us and seemed eager to help us however she could going forward. We learned where the John Doe was found wandering. John Doe 78, to be precise. 78 is a lot of John Does for a town the size of Twin Peaks, but I digress. He was found in the Selkirk area of the woods near the Nez Perce Reservation. No ID, clothes torn, covered in wounds. After ruling out the prison on the reservation, who reported no missing inmates, the sheriff conjectured that he may have come from nearby Canada or Idaho next door. She didn't know much about his wounds or current medical condition, referring us to the doctor at the hospital instead, but she did provide us with a lead, a name. National Park Ranger Jason Hall, who found John Doe 78 in the woods. We then headed over to Calhoun Memorial Hospital to meet with Dr. Arav Chandra, the attending physician who was treating John Doe 78. We quickly learned why the Blue Rose Task Force was called in to investigate. Dr. Chandra described his patient's current condition, suffering from an apparent bear claw wound on his back, unable to speak or communicate, but lashing out in violent outbursts until sedated, stuck in rapid eye movement, suggesting he was trapped in a dreaming state, and most curious of all, he had apparently been sliced into pieces, wound marks all going the same direction like a spiral ham, and then reassembled, but not quite lined up correctly. No one should be able to survive that, yet here he was, barely hanging on and suffering from some internal bleeding. Dr. Chandra showed us an x-ray that confirmed this, his bones not quite lining up as well. Daryl Cross examined John Doe's boots, detecting a slight burning smell, almost like burning oil or rubber. Earlier, the sheriff mentioned that the forest ranger also detected a burning smell on the unidentified man. As you know, the members of this task force were chosen for certain abilities we possess that make us suited for Blue Rose cases. Gaz tried to reach out to John Doe 78 through his dreams with some recognition of his presence, and Daryl tried to reach out to his mind, only seeing the bear attack that accounted for his explainable wounds. It was at this time I began to sense a strong burning smell in the room, similar to what Daryl had described on the boots, increasing in intensity, a sign which usually tells me some fire-related incident is possibly imminent. I was headed for the door to get some air when the team made the decision to head over to see Ted Polk. Dr. Bowie decided to stay behind and do some further tests and observations on the patient. Ted Polk is the town barber and hairdresser who contacted Blue Rose at the FBI at the request of Dr. Chandra. We met him at his salon where we were joined by two of his associates, Frank Zhang, the local gas station owner, and Wayne Schultz, a local teacher. We learned they belonged to an organization called the Bookhouse Boys, named for the Bookhouse Cafe just outside of town. They have a long history in Twin Peaks, protecting the area from local mundane threats from drug dealers and criminal elements, and they are allied with the sheriff's office, doing things law enforcement can't do. And they have worked with the FBI before on several occasions for the threats that are not so mundane. I loathe to call them vigilantes, but let's face it, that is what they are. Still, I feel they will be valuable allies as we try to unravel this mystery of John Doe 78. Oh, and they also gave me another lead. Tommy Hawk Hill, a former sheriff's deputy and member of the Nez Perce tribe, who might be able to provide me with some insight into the indigenous folklore of this region. So that's where we are now. We have a few leads to follow up on, including investigating the site where our John Doe was found and checking in with Dr. Bowie to see if he uncovered any new clues. As always, thank you, Margot, and we will speak again soon with additional updates, either myself or another member of the team. Oh, and please tell Deputy Director Wield that Ziggy Stardust has not played guitar for us. He will know what I mean. This is Russ Burnett signing off. Excelsior.
Right. What would you guys like to do? You guys are split up at the moment. Daniel's at the hospital. The rest of you, I believe, are together, though. You've just left, or you're about to leave the Bookhouse Boys. Well, let's start with you guys. What do you guys want to do?
Well, shall we need to find? Shall we go find Jason Hall?
It seems like he's got information that no one else has and might be able to direct us to the exact location, among other things.
Yeah, I think that's the best course of action. And I believe that's where we're headed.
So, how are you going to find Mr. Hall?
Well, they did tell us he comes into town at 5 p.m. I mean, we could go to the location. Maybe we'll run into him. It'd be nice to be able to contact him.
Yes, I imagine we can also be, it should not be difficult to acquire the GPS coordinates of the ranger station in which he's based. I wonder, in fact, whether he's not in radio contact with someone while he's afield.
Now, that would make sense.
Finding out the location of the ranger station is not difficult. There's actually a station on the edge of town, and from there they go up into the hills, and they do what their name suggests. They range. They look around. They see if there's any trouble. There's usually not, so they end up having nice days out walking in the woods.
I believe that a lot of rangers spend a lot of their time just clearing walkways of fallen brush and the like.
Yeah, maintaining.
But at the ranger station at the edge of town, we should be able to get a radio code for him and perhaps speak to his colleagues, if any.
Okay. So that's where you guys, the four of you were headed?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Daniel, you're at the hospital. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of change in the patient. He continues to exhibit REM sleep continually without stopping, but occasionally his lips seem to mumble things, murmur things. They're not really audible. They're just lip movements. He is definitely bleeding. You think he's probably internally bleeding.
Yes. Not much I can do about that. That's trust. Well, that's in the hands of the doctors here. Um, well, my job's to figure out who he is. He's a John Doe. And so
Right.
I'm going to go through what I went through last time, where I'm going to just double check everything. I look under his nails. I look to see if there's a ring mark I might have missed or any
There's
other.
definitely a ring mark.
Yeah.
Um, and considering that it's quite a bit lighter than the rest, you think that he recently must have lost the ring or took it off.
It's on his ring finger, correct?
It is. It's on his ring finger. You would
Um,
you would be you'd believe that he's married.
Okay. And then one thing I didn't look at the last time is this man like tanned? Does it look like he's from around here? Does it look like he's like, maybe from like California, somewhere further south where they get more sunlight? They're out on the beach.
Well, okay, yeah, in general, you would think that the man probably doesn't work outside. Um, there are some rough patches on his elbows and on his fingers, but they're very recent. Um, he doesn't have anything like calluses.
Yeah.
And although he does seem to get outside a bit, you'd say, because he's not entirely pale. He's definitely paler than you'd expect from like California.
And does he look any does he look active at all, or is he maybe a bit overweight or
No, he's got a bit of muscles. He's not out of shape. Um, you'd think that you also think that he might be Hispanic or Hispanic caste, um, or possibly Native American. Though he doesn't have the facial structure of Native Americans.
well,
His hair is black, so that makes it hard to tell. His eyes, when you open up his eyes, they are brown.
any other like are his eyes bloodshot or anything?
No, but when you open up his eyes, they continue to move back and forth
And you said he had these scratches all over him, and what we found is that they went
all
all the
over
way
him.
through.
Yeah,
I want to open his mouth and see if I can see evidence of the scratches inside of his mouth.
indeed, you can. You
Okay.
can see that they go, across the lip, but also across the tongue inside.
Hmm. And is his tongue
And
like weirdly misshapen with being split like the bones, or no?
there doesn't seem to be any swelling, you know. Um, you're guessing that the variation in the way he seems to have been put back together would affect mostly capillaries. So in places where there are capillaries, like on his lips, you can see that because it's not quite lined up, they're getting swollen and dark because of internal bleeding. But you're thinking that his heart, even if it was split, it was put together close enough that it's not just pumping blood into his body. The bones are just slightly off, Of course, he does need some sort of, you don't even know, the doctor himself doesn't know what to do because you can't like go in and fix everything. It's too extensive,
Well,
but he might heal. So,
well, doctor, I don't want to be morbid, but if he perishes, I would like to be present for the autopsy.
of
Um,
course,
And I assume you took the fingerprints and sent them to, well, the appropriate authorities.
I believe the police have done that. They took DNA samples and it doesn't usually take that long to get back. So
Well,
I expect probably within the hour we'll have an answer as to who this man is.
make sure to get back to my group. You're looking for someone married. And I'll hold up the finger. But I am afraid, Doctor, I must go. I
Of
must
course.
meet up with my friends.
You're staying at Bessington's Lodge?
Yes, I am.
Well, you know where we are. And he gives you his hours so that you know that when he's there and when he's not there.
Yeah.
But he gives you his home. He gives you his home address, his home phone number. He's quite open about that, and you get the feeling that in this town, the people who trust one another, and everybody seems to know one another. So he's a
I will
trusting
leave
soul.
him. I will leave him my card too.
All right. Then where are
with
you
that-
going to go?
I'm just going to, it's modern day. I'm going to call, let's say Russell, and I'll see where they all are.
Okay, go ahead. Call.
How are you doing, Daniel? Did you
Well-
learn anything new?
Well, I look at the body, and I don't expect him to make a recovery. Where are you located? I'd like to tell you all in person.
We are on our way to the site where he was found in the woods, our John Doe.
Okay. Al, do you have an address? Any
Um,
sort of general direction?
Tell him to meet us at the ranger station.
Meet us at the ranger station.
I'll meet you then. I'll get one of those Ubers, and I'll find a ride to the ranger station.
Cool.
All right, we will see you over there.
There's probably no Ubers in town, but there's somebody who'll give you a ride for sure. All right. So, the other four of you get to the ranger station, and it's fairly small. Go inside. There's a gentleman behind the desk. He says, yes, gentlemen, what can I do for you? He's also got a topographical map of the entire area on the wall with elevations so that you can see, where the mountains go up and where they go down.
Are there notations on the map?
Yeah, there's the names of the peaks all the way around and the valleys and not like individual things.
Are there pins and flags?
Right.
No.
That's what I mean. Okay.
Nothing like that. But he also, you also see that there are trails. There are things mapped out as trails, and he's got copies of those, rolled up like a scroll in a bin underneath him for sale, like $2 for hikers and things like that want a topographical map. Yeah, gentlemen, what can I do for you? I'm Ranger Ed.
Good afternoon,
Ranger.
Ranger. Oh, go ahead, Kaz.
No, I'm Ranger Ed. I'm Special Agent Hader. This is Special Agent Burnett, Special Agent Lane, Special Agent Cross. We are here in regards to the recent John Doe that turned up.
Oh, you're with the FBI.
Yes. We want some more information directly from you as to the exact location where you found the gentleman.
Oh, well, I didn't find him. That was Jason.
Ranger Hall.
Ranger Hall.
Is he out in the field at the moment?
He is. I mean, he told me a bunch of stuff. I thought he talked to the police though about it, and they found him coming down the mountain up the Selkirks. If he's anywhere, he's probably checks his schedule. He says, yeah, he's probably in Clear Valley. It's not huge. If you follow the road up, you'll probably see his Jeep. Just park there. He won't be far from the Jeep.
Thank you, Ed. How frequently do you have bear attacks in these parts?
Ooh, bear attacks. It's not likely. The bears don't seem to come into town. When we get one that's coming in town looking for, people's garbage, We usually take them quite a way. We catch them and take them quite a ways up in the mountains and let them go again.
Are these black bears, brown bears?
We have black bears, brown bears, and the occasional grizzly. Though the grizzlies don't come down this far usually.
Did you see the unknown man's injuries?
Oh, no, I didn't. He alerted the police, and they whisked him off, I think, to the hospital. I told him I thought he might have been an escaped convict, but he told me this morning that it turns out he wasn't. Nobody seems to know who he is.
It appears not. Would you be so kind, Ranger Ed, as to radio him and tell us that we're going to drive up to his vehicle? We're
Sure.
actually going to wait for a colleague for a moment in your lot.
Sure. Have a seat. You turn around and you look, and what you didn't notice when you came in the door is there is a 9-foot-high grizzly taxidermied that's over in the corner looking down. There's a moose head on the other wall.
Picturesque.
You hear him calling and setting up where you guys will meet him.
Ranger,
We'll say about that. Go ahead.
Ranger, just one last question. Do you recall what the weather was what the weather was outside the day that as they were finding our missing John Doe?
Yeah, it was day before yesterday. It was, kind of about usual for this time of year. It was damp in the morning, lots of fog rolling out of the hills, but no rain.
No rain? Thank you.
Yeah, it rained a couple weeks ago, but now we're really in the foggy season. These the woods can be kind of treacherous unless you know where you're going, especially if it's foggy. You can get completely lost. Every tree looks pretty much like any other tree.
Can we grab one of those maps from you? Those topographical maps?
Of course, please help yourself.
Thank you.
So after about 5 minutes or so, an old beat up dump truck comes rolling up to the thing, and Daniel gets out thanking the driver for the lift.
I whisper to the others, don't let Daniel inside or he'll be like a kid in a candy store.
I'll start heading towards the ranger station.
Yeah, we'll save the grizzly for later for Daniel as a treat. Let's get him in the yard. Thank you, Ranger Ed. We'll be seeing you again, I'm sure.
Do you have a map of the park? Not this one. I mean, a portable one.
Oh,
I've got
one.
the topographical that Burnett's got. I mean, you can look it up on Google if you get, we've got pretty good Wi-Fi, or we've got pretty good service here in the valley. You get up in the mountains, it's not going to be so great, but.
I do like to see a paper map, and then we can mark the exact location of the discovery for ourselves. Yeah, let's catch Bowie and get on our way.
That's right, Daryl. No school like the old school. We're going old school.
So yeah, he says he's going to wait for you at his Jeep. He'll be there in about 5 minutes.
Thank you, Ed. And you said right up the road there.
They go up the road
Valley
and keep driving. You got an SUV, that's good. The road gets pretty rough up there. Mostly kids on dirt bikes and stuff go up, and it's one of the things we discourage, but there's not much we can do to stop them. We can't be everywhere. They tear up the road. All right, so you drive up. You all have mixed feelings. The case is disturbing and it's weird, so you feel disturbed by it. At the same time, this area is really beautiful. Lots of big old Douglas firs, and you can see craggly rocks here and there, and there's a stream down over towards one side as you're climbing up. The road is a little rough. It's pretty hard on the shock absorbers of your SUV. But you finally get to a place where you see that the road doesn't really go any farther, and there is a Jeep that's parked there, and there is a man leaned up against the Jeep. And I'll show you his picture. And he sees you, and he starts walking towards you. Hey, folks.
Ranger Hall, hope you're safe out here.
Oh, I'm fine. This couldn't be safer in God's green nature.
I couldn't agree more. We wanted to talk to you about the again, just get it from the horse's mouth, the John Doe that you found up the mountain.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? What happened on?
Well, for one thing, he didn't look much like somebody who you'd expect to be out here hunting. It's not really the kind of, he wasn't dressed in orange or anything like that.
Did he have a weapon?
Didn't have a gun. No, not on him. He had almost nothing. His clothes were all torn up. Looked like he'd had a scrap with a bear. But that's kind of odd too, because if a bear, like a grizzly, got him, we probably wouldn't have ever found him. He would be eaten. And contrary to popular belief, bears can be very dangerous, even if he could have killed him just with a good couple of swipes.
So
he came. Go ahead.
No, with that in mind, then what makes you? Because I'm going off with the first thing you said. You said, hunter. What made if he doesn't have a gun, he's torn up, he's not going to survive an attack from bear. What makes you call him a hunter?
Well, I can't think of any reason why you'd come up in this area other than that. There's not much in the way of hiking trails. There's not really any campgrounds or anything like that. So
unless someone else took you up here, or took him up here, rather.
I suppose that's true. I don't know who would take anyone up here hunting. There's a few people in town that love to hunt.
Oh, I'm not talking about hunting. I'm talking about, make someone disappear.
Oh, you mean now we're getting into the intrigue. You're thinking somebody might have brought him up here and dumped him.
Well, you have the whole FBI here.
Well, who would do that? We don't really have a large criminal element in town.
Well, what I see is I analyzed, not the body, but the man, and based off what I saw, and I'll kind of tell everyone else, as you said, didn't look like a hunter. He definitely wasn't someone who was outside a lot, out in nature a lot. It could have easily been someone, maybe they had something, maybe some sort of, I don't know, something valuable that people wanted to take.
Well, I've read a lot of detective novels and a lot of crime drama. It's kind of interesting stuff, but why here? Why up in the middle of nowhere? I get it, you get rid of the body in the middle of nowhere, but nobody killed him. He wasn't shot or anything like that. He looked to me like somebody who just wandered out of the woods. My first thought was that he was probably an escaped convict that got lost. And
Ranger Hall,
please.
Ranger Hall, do you have an issue with people illegally crossing the border from Canada into the United States in this area? Has that come up frequently? Is this a popular crossing spot, or is it just a little too rustic for most people to try?
I mean, there's a road in town that you can take that'll take you up to Canada, but I mean, there is a border crossing up there. Otherwise, you'd have to climb up over the mountains. It's possible they could get away with that, but I mean, we're not that worried about it. I mean, who comes from Canada? Canadians. We've got free trade with them. They're good people. We would never want to invade their country.
Do you see much difficulty with poachers in this land, Ranger?
No. There's been some incidents, sure. There was a couple of years ago, there was a couple of fellas that came up here from down south. I think they were from California. They wanted to go hunting. They went up here in the mountains, and as they put it, they came down with the biggest damn deer they'd ever seen. And it was a great elk, and we fined them $10,000 for killing an endangered species. But it was a damn big elk. Other than that, I mean, we don't have much trouble.
Well, Ranger, have you seen anything else? Well, strange around here. You're out in these parts a good bit.
No, I mean, I know these woods like the back of my hand. I know that way high up there's a cabin. It's one of those cabins that, you know, people maintain on their own in case you're out hiking and you get stuck in the snow. There's a nice ridge with a beautiful place. Some people hike up there because it's got a good view. And then there's that government facility on the opposite peak, which nobody can get close to because it's got a chain link fence around it.
Well,
what is that facility used for?
Well, we've been told that it's a listening post, and it was installed during Ronald Reagan's term for the Star Wars program. And just like all those government sort of things, they keep maintaining it. So
how often does someone from the federal service come out there?
Well, there's a fellow that's stationed up there most of the time. He lives in town.
What's his name, sir?
That's Major Edwards. Omari, I believe, is his first name.
I believe he was mentioned to us as well.
Yeah, he's a very good man, very honest soul.
Air Force.
Yes, yeah. But
well,
if you decide to start asking him questions, you're going to get the same answer all of us have gotten. That's confidential.
When was the last missing person case you had to deal with?
Oh, me dealing with a missing person? Maybe 5 years ago, there was a kid that got lost. We found him.
Well, Ranger
we tell
Hall,
people to be careful.
Of course. If you have, if we can take you away from your duties, if you'd show us exactly where you ran across the gentleman in question.
Sure.
Hopefully we can figure out which way he came.
Why don't you all hop in the back of the Jeep? Because I don't think your SUV is going to get up there. Because we got to go off the main road. So you hop in the back and he drives you for maybe 20, 25 minutes or so.
I'm going to try to follow along on the topographical map as we go.
It's actually easier than you think because you can see where the mountains and hills are. You can see them on either side of you. Yeah, he takes you up there. It's a meadow. He says this is called Damien's Meadow. There's a seep sink in here, and all of these planets. It's kind of mushy, but he came right from between those two rocks over there, walking in this direction. And I yelled. He didn't seem to see me, uh, but he kept walking in my direction. So I walked towards him, and once I, it's odd. I didn't think he was even aware I was standing right in front of him, and then he collapsed in my arms, and I had to carry him back to the Jeep, and I radioed in for the police. Uh, like I say, I told him that I thought he might have been an escaped convict, but he wasn't in much of a state to be of any danger at that point.
Was
He kept
he
mumbling.
was he bleeding when you found him, or
Yeah, he had cuts all over him. I figured he'd gone through the brambles.
there was like a serious, maybe an arterial cup bleed? It was just was
No,
it light
just
bleeding
scratches all over
or
him.
scratches?
And he had a wound on his back, looked like a claw mark. Um,
Nothing
And he
that he
kept-
said was intelligible to you?
well, I thought he was trying to tell me who he was, but I think that what he said sounded more like, "Don't go there."
Don't
And
go there.
like I say, he was mumbling over and over, just gibberish, and then "Don't go there." And then he went, I couldn't understand. He was too quiet. And we got him to the hospital with the police's help.
Well, you said you knew these parts of the woods.
Yeah.
Where do you think they came from?
Well, it's hard to say, but if you go up in that direction, you're going up into the Selkirk Mountains. That would have been Canada that he would have been coming down from. I suppose he could have been stranded in that cabin, but that's not likely, It's up
From
there, but it's up there quite a ways. And
From
he's
where it
not
was-
dressed.
Yeah.
He wasn't dressed for this kind of place up here. It can get cold at night.
From where he was coming, could it also be possible he was coming from the secret, the government base?
No, that's on that peak over there. And
Oh, okay.
You can
All
see
right.
it.
Okay.
You might just be able to make out what looks like an antenna on the top of that other peak. So how is he? Is he okay? Is he talking yet?
We're unsure at this time. He hasn't said anything, but we're still trying to
Felt kind of
identify
sorry for
him.
him.
Yes.
Felt kind of sorry for him.
Well,
Seems
hopefully-
as though he was very lucky that you happened along when you did.
Yeah. I mean, he might have eventually come out in town, but it would have been another 2 or 3 hours before he reached town walking from up here. And he could have fallen off a precipice or something.
Would you be so kind as to mark on this topographical map where that little cabin you referred to is?
Sure. He says, well, we're right here right now. And he says the cabin is way up here. It's probably another 7-mile hike. And it's not an easy one.
Right, not for patent leather shoes then. We might have to
No,
gear up
no.
if we're going to explore this park at any length.
Well, let's at least look a bit around where he went missing, or where he was found, rather. I'd like to see if there's anything
Yes.
left behind.
Well, Agent Hyder's renowned for his ability to track and trace. If the fellow did tear his clothing up, stumbling through brambles, he may have left some scrap behind.
So I really want to get to that spot, see if I can get us a direction.
He says, well, you can cross over here. You see the way the The wildflowers are kind of in a line here. You want to stay to the right of that, because if you go to the left of it, you're going to get bogged down in the meadow. It's pretty wet. But that's where we came, and not sure what you're going to find there. You might find something.
These brambles, are they everywhere, or
There's
is there a
brambles
location?
all over the place. There's blackberries up there, and you don't want to get mixed into the blackberries. I mean, unless you want to get some blackberries, but mostly the bears will eat the blackberries. But you get tangled up in those, and it's pretty hard to extract yourself. I don't know if you've ever gone berry picking. And your clothes are really nice, so
Yeah, I don't think we're appropriately dressed for a 7-mile hike to a cabin.
Speak for yourself. I'm ready to go.
well, and it's.
Some of
I mean,
us.
you're going to end up there in the dark.
That is afternoon now. Yeah, it's good.
Well, you guys look around all you want to. I'll be right here. You tell me when you want to go. We'll drive back down to your car.
Much appreciated, Ranger.
Thank you, Ranger.
But I would not suggest you going up that trail until you're properly attired.
Thank you.
All right. Also, you're not really armed, are you? Or are you armed?
We're the FBI. We're armed.
I mean, he's armed. You do notice that the ranger is armed. He does have a shotgun.
You don't go into woods like this unarmed. It's not even about people. It's about the animals. You don't do that.
Yeah. Also, you're not dressed. You're dressed in clothes. You're not dressed in orange. So, if there are any hunters,
hunting season in these parts?
You asked that other fellow that last week. I don't actually know when hunting seasons are, but he says we're right at the end of the hunting season for deer, we'll say.
Is it bow, or are you still in bow season, or have you moved on to?
They'll use rifles. So
best not to wander far then.
It's extended. Yeah. Well, stay on the trail if you're going to go up there, but I wouldn't go much more than half a mile before you consider coming back. All right, so you guys are wandering around on the trail. What are you guys looking for? Especially gas.
Footprints. I'm looking for tatters of clothes that have been ripped off by brushes or by thicker or rougher parts of like bark. I'm looking for anything dropped, cigarettes, bubblegum wrappers. I'm looking for animal droppings, animal fur. I'm looking for disturbed bushes that are naturally stripped by animals.
What's better, a spot hidden or tracking for you?
They both kind of up there. Tracking is better by 5.
Okay, so we'll give you. Why don't you roll some a tracking roll?
Is a 19.
Oh, that's really good.
Mike, I can spend.
No, you don't need to.
Oh.
So after 15 minutes or so walking around, especially when you're near the meadow, you do find footprints. There's at least one spot where it looks like he stepped into the meadow and had to kind of extract his shoe. So you can definitely see some track prints. There's some softer areas up higher where you see his footprints again. You do find a couple of bits of cloth that looked like his pants or his shirt. We're going to assume that when you were at the hospital, you guys saw what he was wearing. Things that got snagged on stuff. As far as animals go, you don't find anything related. You may find some scat here and there, but it's raccoon scat or, something that you'd expect to see in the woods anyway. Oddly enough, raccoons like to poop on top of rocks, so you often find little piles of poop on top of rocks.
I would like to follow around along with Gaz, but what I'm looking for is, I see all this stuff maybe he's seeing, but also I want to look for like slices in the ground or in trees or anything that seems like this is the place where he got attacked, like something just came through and didn't stop at him.
You find nothing like that. There's no slices in plants or places where they've been sliced off or anything like that. As far as you can tell, also, there's just more and more little bits of evidence going up. So he definitely came down from up there somewhere. It's just a matter of whether you want to travel that far. It is pretty dirty. It is damp. You're getting mud on your shoes. And surprisingly, it's quite beautiful up here. How about the other three? What are you guys doing?
This isn't really my area, so I'm kind of just observing, see if I see anything out of the ordinary. Obviously, I trust Gaz. He knows what he's doing. That's his field. Just see if I see anything out of the ordinary. Just a casual look around.
Yeah. And I'm testing the reception. I have a...
Yeah, the bars are low. If you have some way of detecting it, probably a clever way, you do see that there is kind of a jamming that's coming from the direction of the peak that the government facility is on. Like there's more static in that direction than there is
in
other directions.
Listening post is very talkative.
If I pull out my compass, is the compass acting naturally?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I find this all very scenic and will be taking some photographs of the location, noting specific things like the shoe marks, but also scenic vistas.
Daniel, do me a luck roll.
Okay. That's a 33 under 55, so just a regular.
So as you're looking around too, you see over towards the side, you see a place where it looks like there's either a little bit of blood on a twig that's sort of sticking up, like he might have brushed by that, or something. It's the only thing that sort of stands out.
Yeah.
Could have been something that scratched him.
I take a few steps over to that and, well, this might be something. And I'll get if I have some, I assume I have some sort of evidence bag. I'll kind of break the branch off and bag it up.
Do a luck roll for me.
Oh, that's a 51 under 55. So.
Okay. When you do that, very edge of your finger touches the spot where some of the blood is. And in that moment, all of the rest of you notice that Daniel sort of drops to his knees as if at first you think he's found something, but he sort of drops to his knees and then keels over to the side. And Daniel, what you see is, or what you feel is, it's as if your skin is on fire for that moment. But there's no fire. And the second thing that runs through your mind is like 1,000 little paper cuts all over your skin. And you can hear somebody screaming. And in the next moment, you realize you're laying on the ground with dirt on your face. And you've also yelped. And the rest of you have heard him do this. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's like an epileptic fit.
Yeah, I was seeing, but I'm going to run over just to help him get up. Daniel, what happened? Are you all right?
Yeah, I still have the thing in my hands, the bagged.
Yeah.
It's I had some sort of, sensation when I touched this. Sorry, it's...
Can you describe it?
Well, I think it's like what our John Doe went through. It was burning, and then the thousands of tiny slices put into him. The ones I found that went all the way through him. It's...
The spiral ham.
This is where it happened. No, it can't be. Well, there's not enough blood.
How do you feel?
Me?
Yes.
You look at yourself, you're fine. You don't have cuts or anything.
Well, I think it was... I don't think it was this causing it, but I believe I had some sort of vision about what our John Doe went through. We have this for evidence, and I hold up the twig. There's something, or might not even be a something, that attacked him.
I think Russell's going to do something that is beyond what was recommended by the park ranger. I'm going to get as close to the edge of this of the mushy part of the. I want to smell the mud, because I'm sure Gaz mentioned seeing the footprints and everything, and I know that the boots smelled what they smelled like from Daryl, and having smelled it in the hospital. I want to smell where he walked through there. I want to smell what the mud, the mush, what it smells like. I know probably we're not quite there because we were told not to be, but I want to get to right where that mud is and reach and smell it.
It's kind of obvious what he was talking about, because the ground dips down just a little bit and then spreads out. You can see thousands of little wildflowers in there. Your experience, though, when you get near it, is not unusual. You smell flowers. You smell the wildflowers. You can smell the mud and the sort of general smell of, the humusy soil. You can smell pine. You don't smell any kind of burning.
No rubber, no oil. Okay. I was just curious. So I'll head back. I don't want to get too into it so that we have an incident where I have to be extracted.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. My vote's on now, going back, so at least I can get cleaned up. I have a face full of mud here, and
we do have to dress more appropriately if we're going to go on. And it sounded like it was. I mean, we're kind of in late afternoon now, aren't we?
Yeah, you're getting towards the afternoon.
No, taking the journey to the cabin might be a thing for tomorrow.
Fine, but I would rather, just so I can do my thing, I'd rather sleep over at that ranger station where we initially met at, and then I can link up with you guys again there. It's just better for me to be closer to the forest for this one.
Sounds good to me. I need to change of clothes, so I'm heading back.
There is a general store in town if you need any kind of gear. sleeping bag or anything like that. Gas. Um. All right. So you rejoin Jason, and you get back in his Jeep, and you start back down towards the car. Um. Russ. I'm sorry. Daniel. Your phone rings, and it looks like it's the doctor.
I'll answer it.
Uh,
Hello.
uh, Mr. Bowie, the police, the sheriff is here. She says that she has information. They've got information on the John Doe.
Let me put you on speakerphone. I think my agents are all here. And I'll switch them to speakerphone.
And suddenly you look, and Russell's disappeared. He's vanished from the Jeep completely.
But I have a feeling he should be able to hear us.
Sanity
Okay.
check.
Yes, sanity check. All right. The sheriff comes on, and she says, "This is Sheriff Truman. So what we found out is the identity of the man. His name is Rail Murphy, and he is a resident of Priest River. That's about 20 miles south of us. He apparently is divorced recently, and he is the owner of a red Toyota license plate 19XB145.
Has that red Toyota been found anywhere?
It has not. However, I guess our next step could be we do have surveillance cameras here and there throughout the town. We could run back through the tapes and see if we can see him coming into town.
Yes, I think that would be wise. I'll look to my fellow agents. Do the rest of you have any ideas?
Well, I think we should let's get the gentleman's address. We can go and see the conditions of the home that he left.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Daryl.
Excellent. Yes, if you could send us, I believe, do you have all of our phone numbers? I can get you that. Just send us the address. Additionally, did he have any priors, any previous, indications of?
Well, I mean, I don't know how far, out to what extent. I don't find any criminal record. I do find, I do find some drunken, disorderly conduct that's mentioned in here. Looks like he is recently divorced, and it was a pretty bad, messy divorce.
Do we have an ID? Ex-wife?
Her name was Teresa. I don't know if she's kept her last name or not. Murphy, she could have gone back to her maiden name. However, I am showing that she's the owner of the house, so he's kicked out, if anything, unless they're still living together, which would be odd.
Do we have a current address for him or no?
We don't. My guess is that he's probably been staying in motels or hotels or something along the way. And he gives you the address of the Priest River address.
One final thing from me. How quickly do you think? Well, that might be a job for us to get his banking information to see access to all that.
Well, and she says, I have no way of doing that, but you're FBI. So
We'll make a few calls. And I'll see if anyone else has any questions.
Sheriff, who's your counterpart in Priest River? Should we need to speak to the local authorities?
That's Uh, mm, uh, Jerry Mandel. Mandel. That one down. Um, he's the he's a let's see. That's a really small place. I'm not sure if I guess they'd have a sheriff too. So a sheriff. Um, he's kind of a gruff fellow. He might not be very cooperative.
Understood. Anything else? All right, Sheriff, you'll be hearing from us. Thanks for the notification.
Thank you,
I'll
Sheriff
keep you
Truman.
informed if we find anything on the video feeds.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work. You have a lovely town, and I'll hang up.
So
Right.
I'm gonna look up now that we have his name, Rail Murphy. I'm gonna look him up on social media.
And I'll look him up in federal database, find out his ex-wife's maiden name and whatnot, when they were married.
I forgot what name that what did I call her?
Teresa.
Teresa.
I'll probably send it. I'll send it to Margot, I think, believe it was her name, just so it's going through all our Blue Rose channels, asking for the bank information.
Okay. So Teresa's maiden name was Newfield. You do have a phone number for her house in Priest River. And we'll say that right now it's probably going on about 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Should have asked the sheriff if there's a good place to eat in Priest River. 20 minutes drive? Do we want to surprise the former Mrs. Murphy? Or announce our intention to visit ahead of time?
He's not exactly a high suspect in this case yet. But I think we could. I think we can. I think we should just show up at her door. It's not uncommon.
Okay. You want to all go? Or is the Gaz going to stay?
I'm still with them. I mean, I can, because I do have a weapon, but I don't have a sleeping system, so that I will have to buy. So if I'm in the car, then I'm kind of uber locked into this. So let's do it.
We'll drop you off at the station on our way back to the hotel.
All right. So you drive back into Twin Peaks and following your just telephone map, it takes you to Priest River. It's a lot of windy road getting there, which your stomachs are not exactly happy about since you haven't eaten dinner yet. Priest River is a hole. It's not much more than 3 or 4 streets going off of the main street. There's a few houses. There's a gas station, and as you get to Priest River, you see a sign that says, "Welcome to Priest River, population 312." So it's little. You find the woman's address. It's a small wooden house. Looks like it's an old style from maybe 30 or 40 years ago. And it's lit. There's lights on the inside. There's a car in the driveway, not a red one.
Well, let's not all troop up and scare the woman with 5 agents on her stoop. Who's feeling convivial?
I could go and knock on the door and introduce myself. Let her know that we found her husband, her ex-husband, and we're just trying to find out why he might have been in the woods near Twin Peaks. So, if you guys
Right.
want to, it could be one or two of us.
I'll go with and see if anything stands out to me. Unless you
Right.
want to, Jeffrey?
No, go ahead. I'm looking up everything I can online about Rail Murphy. So
So Daryl and Russell, you head up towards the door. Jeff, you're still looking up stuff, background stuff. You have a strange sensation as you're sitting there. At first, it feels like you're getting a headache. You have like sparkles in your vision. And then for just a brief moment, you think for a moment you're going to black out. And you don't know if it's you haven't eaten or you haven't drunken anything for a while. You get this thing inside your head. It's like you're looking into an odd room, an old-fashioned switchboard area. And there's a shelf with a whole bunch of old-fashioned cameras on the shelves. And there's an old woman sitting at the operator board, and she's moving cords back and forth, plugging and unplugging. You see her there inside your mind, and there's static. You can hear static and the sound of electricity. And just as you sort of blink your eyes and come to, you get the strangest feeling that there's something wrong with the power lines in this town, because you're right near a big old high power line they're running through the town. It doesn't look like much of it goes to this town, but this is where their power is passing by. Like static is getting in your mind, and after a few moments it goes away. But you feel like you've seen the operator before in your head.
yes, this is not our first encounter. Look about the power lines. Then I won't mention it to anyone, but I'm just going to keep looking at his social media accounts, if there are any. If he had a Facebook, if he had an Instagram.
It doesn't look like he was particularly well connected, but you do find previous addresses, and you find his car registration, and you find things like that. That you also find probably background on the current state of his divorce. It was a really nasty divorce. Apparently he had an affair. She had a counter affair. It was and she got custody of the house. So looks pretty nasty. But other than that, you don't really find anything. He wasn't a blogger or a Facebook person. All right. Russell and Daryl, you walk up to the door and you knock. There's a few moments. You can hear music coming from inside, like a record player or the radio. That gets quiet, and then you hear steps coming towards the door, and you can see that somebody looks out the little eye hole, and then she opens the door, and she's like, Yes, can I help you?
I have my badge. Good evening, man. I'm Special Agent Russell Burnett. This is my colleague, Special Agent Daryl Cross.
Evening, ma'am.
We have some unfortunate news that we wanted to let you know. Your husband was found as your ex-husband. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He was found as a John Doe. He's in the hospital right now. He's still alive, but we were just trying to piece some information together and want to follow up on some
I thought
leads.
you were going to tell me that he's dead.
No,
well,
ma'am.
I mean,
Fortunately, he's not.
What happened? Was he in an accident or?
Apparently, yes. He was found in the woods near Twin Peaks, nearby, in the woods up there.
Peaks?
They had no identification on him. He'd been in some kind of possible animal attack. We had just recently discovered his identity based on fingerprints and DNA. However, we were just kind of following up. We wanted to know if you knew anything about if he had any activities in Twin Peaks or anything. We're just trying to piece it together. Why he was there, where he was found.
I can't think of any reason why he'd go to Twin Peaks. But then I haven't really been. I mean, we're divorced.
I know.
I mean, I'm sorry that he was in something happened to him, but is he stable? Does he need help or?
He's as stable as he can be right now. He's still he seems to have some kind of amnesia or inability to speak with us, but he is under really good care at Calhoun Memorial Hospital in Twin Peaks with his attending physician, Dr. Chandra. If you need to know that, we were just trying
to. Please come inside.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your hospitality.
Her place looks about as normal as possible. She seems somewhat torn in her reaction. She writes down the information that you said, and she said, "Well, do you want me to come and see him? You're probably not familiar with our situation. I mean, it was a pretty nasty divorce. I'd just as soon never see him again."
I understand that, ma'am. I obviously, I would appreciate. I whatever you feel in your heart that you'd like to do on a personal level. I did have some questions though about your whosband. I was wondering where he was employed, what his business line was, if he was employed here in Peace River, or if he worked elsewhere. What his job was, or if he still had a job. I wasn't.
Yeah, he worked. He worked for the county. At least he did. A couple of months ago, he lost his job. That was part of the impetus for our divorce. He hasn't been able to hold down a job for any length of time, and I, as far as getting in an accident, he's a reckless driver. He's always been a reckless driver. He drives too fast in these mountain roads. It's not the first time he's been in an accident, though he was never injured. And you're saying that he's not, is he dying, or is he going to recover?
I don't think we have an answer on that yet, ma'am. I don't mean to upset you or anything, but he is under very good care, and
no.
we did see him in the hospital. I was wondering if he had any associates or friends or associates here in town or elsewhere that was spending a lot of time with. I know you haven't been together, but if you know anything, there's any people that he may have worked part-time with, or
I can give you a list of people, but like anybody else, sure, there were a few people here and there. He didn't have any really close friends or anybody like that.
Okay.
Do you know where he's been staying since your separation and divorce?
No, he hasn't called me or told me anything. I haven't had any kind of connection, any kind of communication with him.
How long is
Since
that?
the
This
divorce.
how long since your divorce has it been? I'm sorry.
2 months.
2 months. Okay. So.
Yeah. And it was, as they say, a knockdown, drag out divorce.
That's a
Does
shame.
he have a family in these parts as well?
No, they're all back east. I'll have to see if I can contact them. He's always had some violent tendencies, so I don't know that, he's never actually hit me, but he's come awfully close a few times.
So if you've had no contact with him for at least 8 weeks, you wouldn't have any idea what his schedule was or the like.
No idea, but you say he was in Twin Peaks. I don't know why he'd go up there, but maybe he's just up there to, I don't know, to blow off some steam.
I know this is a small town. Like since your divorce, had you seen him around town? Juan, I know it's a small town. You hadn't seen him. Okay.
No, I think he avoided me just because,
Anyone you can think of that might have had a reason to do him harm? When he especially
No.
annoyed him?
That sounds very intriguing, but there's nothing like that I can think of, unless he had, fights with people at work or things like that, which he would never have told me about anyway.
He worked for the county. Is there was there locally is there a address where he used to work here?
Yeah, I can give you that.
Thank you.
No, I can't think of any reason why anybody would want to hurt him. I mean, I'd like to punch him in the face, but that's all done and over with at this point.
That's understandable considering the situation.
And she probably gives you a lot more information about him than is relevant.
Yeah. You mentioned he had relatives back east. I'm going to leave you my card, ma'am. If you can think of anything, please feel free to reach out to me. But if you would like when you speak with his relatives, and we do appreciate that, if they need to get a hold of us as well.
Do you have any idea what he was doing in Twin Peaks?
One of the things we're trying to figure out, why he was up there. He was
Specifically, he wasn't in Twin Peaks, but in the forest land outside of Twin Peaks. It wasn't a car accident that he had. He was, he suffered exposure in the forest. Was he
That's
outdoorsman in general?
Oh no, not at all. I could never get him to go for a walk. No, he didn't even like to go fishing.
I think our current expectation is that he had some kind of accident and then wandered into the forest. We
Well,
haven't found the vehicle yet.
and she admits she's of mixed feelings about it. If you'd have asked her 15 minutes ago, she'd have hoped that he dropped dead, but now she feels kind of guilty and sorry for it, and she doesn't know whether she's going to go see him or not.
I'm gonna roll down the window of the car. Gonna lean out and ask him what cell phone provider he used.
As my colleague requested, do you know what cell phone provider that he used? Did he use a cell phone? That sort of thing.
Sure. I'll say Verizon. It's the only thing I can think of.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the only thing that gets up here in the mountains.
Not to bring up any bad memories for you or anything, but it's kind of important for our investigation. Was he a drinker or a drug user?
Well, he did drink. I don't think he ever did drugs, but Yeah, he could get pretty drunk, and then he was a mean drunk.
Yeah. Well, if you can think of anything, unless my colleague, Special Agent Cross, has some questions for you.
No, I think we've taken up enough of your time, Em.
Yes.
As his ex-wife, you could probably call the hospital and check in on him. But currently, he's stable. We're just trying to figure out how he was injured and
Well, I'm
why.
going to. She says I'll probably call my sister and get her over here, and we'll figure out what we want to do. She's always been on my side.
That's good. Like I said, if you can think of anything else, please give us a call and let his family know that they could do the same.
Okay. And you leave Priest River. You're heading back.
Is there a tavern in Priest River?
Yeah, because maybe they have wings or something. I was wondering if we could maybe swing by his former place of employment and just see if we can get another.
If he worked for the county, it was probably based out of a larger town, maybe the county seat.
Okay, if there's not a place around here. Okay.
But if there's a bar in town, they probably knew him.
That's a good idea.
Maybe know where he's been staying or who he shacked up with when his marriage fell apart.
And we could pass by any sort of, I doubt they have a motel here, but see if they have that red car parked up front.
That's a good idea as well.
Okay. So we'll say there is a tiny dive bar. You don't find anything relevant. We'll say that from one fella who kind of knew him, the only thing that he can give you is that he wanted to get out of town and cool off, so to speak.
Okay.
But he didn't know where he was going. There's a county station out here, but there's nobody there this time of night. Looks like it might have been only him that would have been there.
Well,
Other
I
than that,
wouldn't mind stopping into the R&R then.
Yeah, a little late night diner would not be a bad idea.
Okay. So by the time you get back to Twin Peaks, it's, let's say, 9:00. The R&R is going to close at 9:30. However, if you get in there and you get seated, they're going to feed you before they're not going to kick you out. And the food is good. Any of you drinking coffee? Going to stay up all night?
No
I'm
problem.
gonna actually drink a bit. I'm gonna stay up some tonight.
Yeah. I want to start looking on my laptop, look on the internet, looking at some local folklore, just to get a kind of a base knowledge of the local regional folklore. So I probably will have a couple cups of coffee and cherry pie, of course. And
Can I? You recommend a cherry pie, right?
I highly recommend the cherry pie.
I'll have a slice too. See what all the hype's about.
So,
man.
Russell, you find out that the area is rich in folklore. The Nez Perce Indians were nearby, and a couple of other tribes. Some of the mountains around here are sacred. There's always been talk of good and evil spirits living in the mountains, and stuff like that. Nothing that triggers anything. Of course, you have also been told that a Mr. Hill has quite a lot of information on the Nez Perce.
Definitely want to
Right.
talk to him probably tomorrow. But I just wanted to get kind of like a base to see what the published lit, as a academic. I would want to know what the published lit was before I got the real scoop from Hawk.
Jeffrey, you get a phone call. Once again, it's from the sheriff's office here in Twin Peaks. And she says, got something really interesting for you to look at. And she gives you a link that links into the surveillance database or whatever it is in town. And she says, uh, from 10:23 a.m. until 10:40. And what you see is a surveillance camera that looks like it's on the main street, probably on the third story of a building, and it's looking into downtown. And what you see is like at 10:30 or 10:28 or so, you see the red Toyota coming down the street. It's definitely coming from the same road that you guys just came up. So it's coming from Priest River. You see it park at the general store, and you can't see really clearly, but you're pretty sure that that's Rail getting out of the car. He goes into the general store. He's there for a good 40 minutes inside the store. And then you finally see him come out. He's got what looks like a rifle. He's got some bags. He's got some supplies, and he puts them in the back of his car. He's got an orange jumpsuit, but he's not wearing it. He's just got it folded up. And he packs that into his car, and then you see him pull out and drive away, and he drives out of frame. But you're guessing that he's driving a little more into the town and then probably up the road that you guys went earlier today.
Okay, I'll share that information with the others. Then, what I also want to do is get our contacts back in Virginia to help me get information from Verizon about his cell phone, whether it was Google or Apple or whatnot, and that I wanted to go through that company to find out whether Google Maps or Apple Maps. I want to find where that phone is or where it last.
Okay.
If he's using his phone to navigate, we should be able to pull that from the server side and see where the hell he was going.
Will you tell me, is that something that they can find quickly, or is it something they have to do and then?
It's probably going to take a minute.
Okay.
So that's probably going to be sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll say that they'll get back to you, but it could be sooner. You're going to go and get something to eat anyway. So you guys are already sitting down eating. We'll say it's 9:15.
The general store will be closed by now.
Yes, it's an awfully long time to shop, but it seemed like he was gearing up.
I think we should use his apparent shopping list as a basis for our own, although, of course, Special Agent Hyder will have better advice. I don't suppose they'll have proper boots for us at a place like that. But overalls...
They'll have proper boots. The issue is you're not going to be able to break those things in one night. So you are going to be miserable on this hike up. This is why I tell you to have take these boots with us. No one listens to me.
Well, I do have some boots. They were kind of the only ones I could afford at the time, but you have to kind of have boots to go out and look at wildlife for taxidermy purposes. So
yeah, I think I would have bought some kind of, I mean, they might not be the best for like really deep woods crazy, but some kind of hiking boot, something that he would have had that would be acceptable, but probably not the best choice.
But I think, yes, like Gaz said, they're going to be a pain to break in.
So as you guys are sitting there still eating, um, you see a car pull up outside and a gentleman get out, and he is dressed in a military uniform, looks like Air Force, and he comes up to the diner, the front door, and you notice that somebody immediately waves him in. You know, they're going to take care of him. And he comes in and he sits down at a table opposite. And this is who you see. So he sits down there and he doesn't even order. They bring him probably what he always orders. Thank you very much. You hear him. He's very polite. And he sits there and begins to eat his meal. He seems very disciplined in his movements and actions.
Do we have any questions for him? Should we introduce ourselves? I mean, fellow federal employees, just let him know we're in town.
I'm sure he already knows.
Probably
We can
does.
introduce ourselves.
No, he should. If he already knows, we know who he is. Just almost say hello. I'm gonna text Deputy Director Altwheel, and I'm gonna ask him to get me what he can on Major Edwards. If we've got any kind of pull, because we do work with the military. We're not really friends with the CIA, I know, NSA, but we do work with the military to see if we can get somebody with a little more pull than than Colonel Edwards. Like if we need him to start sharing information, see if we can get those wheels greased and started on the side.
And Alt says, yes, I'll see what I can do. I'll get back to you.
And he probably intercepted that with his listening. It's all right.
Well, he's military, not Secret Service. Since you and I, Burnett, met the ex-wife, should we let someone else introduce themselves to our colleague from the
I think that
Air
would
Force?
be a good idea. I think it'd be a good idea.
Well,
I don't even know if he knows that there was a man found wandering in the woods. It's not necessarily his purview.
Perhaps, but he looks the kind of guy who may not say it, but knows everything.
No,
Hey, Darren.
I'll go up and say something.
All right. So you walk over to him, and as I say, he seems very disciplined as he's sitting there eating. You walk up, and he looks up at you, and he says, yes, may I help you with something?
Good evening. Wanted to introduce myself and my team. I am Special Agent Jeffrey Lane with the FBI.
Lane, you said.
Yes.
Oh, you're with the FBI.
That is correct. And you are Major Edwards?
Oh, yes, I am. There's 4 others.
Yes, they are. That's my colleagues.
How remarkable. And gentlemen, why are you in town?
Have you heard the news of the John Doe that they found in the woods nearby where I believe you were? At least relatively speaking, as nearby anything could be to your
I
suppose.
have not. I have pretty focused work. I don't always get to hear what the news is. You say somebody was found in the woods. That's interesting. Would you mind then if I joined you for a moment?
Oh, most certainly.
So he comes over and pulls up a chair. Says, "Gentlemen, it's very nice to meet you. I'm not exactly sure how to deal with what I'm about to say to you. Um, I work at a government facility on the mountain range over there. It was set up in the 1970s, 1960s. I don't know when Reagan was
80s.
around.
80s.
80s, the
80s.
1980s. Um, Officially as part of the Star Wars program, the national defense. However, what we're doing up there is a little more um, difficult to explain. It's classified, so I can't really tell you much. We monitor signals, and he looks around the room. And he says, we monitor signals from deep space. And this morning, one of my jobs is to review all of the information that we get from deep space. Most of it is random. Uh, in fact, it's almost always been random. I've been doing this for quite a few years. And once again, the reason why we do this is classified. But this morning, and he reaches into his pocket and he unfolds a piece of paper and he lays it down on the table. And this is the piece of paper that he shows you. Of course, I did the highlighting.
It's our names.
I assume those are your surnames.
Would be us. And you're telling us that this came from deep space. Not
That's
a
what we've been
satellite.
told. In the past 40 years, there have only been a few messages that we've ever received. We're not entirely sure where they're coming from, but I think this is an odd coincidence.
I'm writing down the names of our missing agents, starting with Dale Cooper on a piece of paper. I'm going to
Do you mention Dale Cooper?
I'm not going to say his name out loud. Just put it on the paper. Say, have any of these gentlemen's names ever appeared in your 40
Yes,
years?
indeed, they have. Agent Cooper received a number of messages. They seem to correspond with his dreams. I can't say
What kind of
otherwise.
dreams?
They're classified. Uh, I believe that there must be a connection between you and something that's going on in Twin Peaks. I don't know if it's a warning about you or to you, or if there will be further messages. But I think it's fair that I'll keep you informed if there are any other messages.
Yes, that is much appreciated.
Yes, we appreciate your confidence very much, Major. There's another, so the identity of the Wanderer, the Doe, came through today. His name's Murphy. Has that showed up anywhere in your printouts?
No. No.
This man, and Special Agent Bowie can help me describe this, appears to have undergone a kind of surgery that we don't have the technology for.
It's one he won't likely survive.
How far apart are the slices, Special Agent Bowie? Is it every 10? Is it a centimeter?
Every centimeter or so.
I believe, yes, every centimeter. I believe it was even. They were at least accurate, very precise. I, for example, saw one through the cheek, through the tongue, and into the mouth.
The fellow looks as though he was sliced cleanly, as if at a deli counter, and then reassembled before
But
that was fatal.
there's a degree of misalignment that I believe will result in his death, especially, or at least damage to his brain.
I find these things you're saying to me are significant, and I'm not authorized at this moment to reveal any information. However, I can seek that authorization because I think some of it might be relevant. I am inclined to invite you up to the listening post. However, I don't have the authority to do that either. But I'll see what I can do.
Likewise, Major, if there's something we can tell our higher-ups, this does seem like a suitable occasion for interagency cooperation.
You've made a remarkable day. I can tell you this, that we're looking for something. But I can't tell you what.
Why are you jamming the other peak?
We're not jamming anything.
We seem to see interference coming from your station. Maybe that's not from you, but
Coming from your direction. Maybe something you want to look into?
It's actually, there may be an explanation I have. However, it's classified. Once again, if I can bypass if I can get authorization, I can speak to you about it. We may have more in common than you think. Perhaps colors can change with love.
Major Edwards, is there a florist in town? I was thinking about maybe picking up a dozen blue roses.
Good evening, gentlemen. I will keep in touch with you for sure. And please keep me informed of anything that goes on with the fellow in the hospital that you've mentioned.
You certainly will.
I may have some authorization by tomorrow. It's late right now. And he's, of course, finished his meal as you were talking. But he stands up, very disciplined, and turns and walks out the door and drives away.
Think we pushed too hard?
Well,
No, I think that went very well.
A lot better than I expected it to go. I'm updating Alt Wield to let him know what's up and what to expect to hear.
He knew of us before we told him. I had no intentions of telling him of, well, the blue rose, but he knew beforehand.
He already knew.
So Alt's response to you also is that he'll seek authorization, and then they can, because the Blue Roses work with the FBI and with the military.
Mm.
After about 15 more minutes, Alt writes you back, and he says, indeed, the previous Deputy Director, Gordon Cole, helped to set up the listening post in Twin Peaks as part of the Project Blue Book. And he doesn't know much about it. It's all classified, but that's probably what it has to do with. All right. You finish up. Gaz, you're going to head over to the ranger station.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the rest of you head up back to Bensington Lodge. You clean up and get yourselves ready for bed, and you go to sleep. Gaz, you go and describe for me what you're going to do. They've authorized your FBI. They're going to let you stay in the ranger station alone. There's nobody else there.
And that's fine. Yeah, I just want to. I want to head to my rifle and my pistol, and I'm gonna grab my sleeping system, my pack, and everything. I'm just gonna sleep on the floor. I just want to be close to the forest because I want to dream, and I want to search a little bit, see if I see anything that's more unusual than usual. If that makes sense.
All right. So you begin to drift off to sleep. It's a little uncomfortable. It's not exactly a comfortable place to sleep. You're sleeping kind of on a couch. There's a lot of noise from the woods, a lot of noise. You can hear the wind blowing outside. And you hear what sounds like, you think it's a distant train. But then at some point in there, you've fallen asleep. And you find yourself almost, you'd say, looking through someone else's eyes. There seems to be, it's pitch black outside. Somehow you can sort of see some of the features. There's a building, 2-story ramshackle building on the side of the road. Looks like a little supermarket or something like that. It looks like there's a gas pump out in the front. There's an awning so that you can put your gas in without getting rain on you if it's raining. The wind is blowing. And there's something inside the building. It's pitch black inside, but you can see something scuttling around. And it makes you feel very disturbed. It feels malevolent. It feels very dark. And in the last moment, you sort of think you see something looking at you out of the window. It's completely black except for the whites of its eyes. And there's one standing there looking at you, and then there's two, and then there's three of them, but they're not on the same level, like different heights of someone. You can smell that sort of rancid oil, that sort of burning oil, and you hear the sound of electricity, like the bzz, 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 bzz sort of sound in the background. You also notice that there are stairs going up the side of the building to the second floor.
Yeah. I'm cautious because of the creepy shadow people. So instead of moving closer, I'd like to move around the building to see what else I can see.
Okay. You begin moving to the side and around. The sound of the gravel and dirt under your feet on the road makes a lot of crunchy sort of noise. Are you moving around to the side where the stairs are, or around to the side where the opposite of where the stairs are?
The stairs.
To the right or to the left? Okay.
To the stairs, because I just want to see maybe there's a door or something like that.
You move around to the side. You're looking at the side of the building. It's a very simple building. You can see the stairs going up. Everything is sort of black and brown. But there's a red door at the top of the stairs. And you can see something pushing that door open. And then you wake up and it's morning. You think there was a red light coming from inside that door, but there was something up there. And then I want you to do a spot hidden for me.
So that was a hard success, 31 under 70.
You wake up, and across from you, hanging on the wall behind like the ranger's desk, there's a painting. It's like an old painting. And you're not sure if you noticed it last night before you went to sleep, but it looks like this. And you think that it might have had a direct influence on your dream.
Okay.
And that's, I think, where we're going to end it for tonight. Our players included Joe Bardalis, David Gassaway, Morgan Llewellyn, Joseph Clay, and Sawyer Hill, with myself as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft, a Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.